Hello, welcome back. I'm Jay Abhishek De Silva, an undergraduate of the JAMA Institute for Advanced Technology. Welcome back with the question series of Database Management System 1, and today I'm here with the question set number 44. The principal of Ranabami School in Kandy intends to create a software to enter the information of teachers and students in that school. You are entrusted with the task of creating this software. Your team is tasked with developing the database of this software, and the database development work is shared between you and everyone on the team. You are tasked with storing student and teacher information, creating the tables needed to store the subjects that teachers teach and the subjects that students learn. Use the instructions below to create it. As the first question, create a database using the name of the school database as Randomly School DB, and then use DDL Query to create this database. And then as a second question, create the principal has decided to include the information of grade 9 students in the first phase of this software. Create a student table to store student information. Follow the instructions below to create this table, and use the DDL query to create this table. And then as a third question, create a teacher table to store teacher details. Follow the instructions below when creating the table, and also use the DDL query to create this table. And then in the last question, the principal has decided to include the main subjects that grade 9 students will learn in the first phase of this software. Create a subject table that will be used to store data. Follow the instructions below to create this table, and use DDL query to create this table. So then let's move to HDSQL software. So in the first question, we have to create the database called Randomly School DB, and we have to use the DDL query related to this. And we can write the DDL query as create. As we have to create a database, we can use the create database. We can use the keyword if not exists, and then inside the grievance in mark we can give the database name as Randomly School DB, and then at last a semicolon. So then let's execute this query. Here we can see a database called Randomly School DB has created. So then let's move to the second question. So then here we have to create a table called student with these columns. So then let's create the table. Here too we have to use the DDL query. So then here too we can use the keywords as create. We use the table here as we have to create a table. Create table, and if not exists, inside the grievance in the mark we can give the table name as student, and then after that we can give the column names inside the brackets, and inside the grievance in mark we give the column names, the student ID column, and then after the grievance in mark we give the data type and the length and also the other information. So here we give the data type as int, and then we make it not null, and then we give it the primary key, and also we have to give it the auto increment, and then a comma, and then again inside the grievance mark we can give the second column as first name column, and then after the grievance mark we can give the relevant data type, length, and also the other information. We can give the data type as vacha, and inside the brackets we can give the length as 45, and then after that we can give the not null keyword, and then we can use the comma, and again inside the grievance mark we give the next column name as last name column, and then here too after that we use the vacha keyword. Inside the brackets we give the length as 45, and then make it not null, comma, and then again inside the grievance mark we give the next column name as gender, and then we give the data type as vacha, and inside the brackets we give the length as 10, and to make not null, and then comma, and again inside the grievance mark we give the next column name contact number column, and then here too we give the data type as vacha with the length 11, and then make it not null, comma, and then again inside the grievance mark we can give the class column, and then the data type as vacha. Inside the brackets we give the relevant length as 10, and then make it not null, and then at last after the brackets we can give the semicolon. So then let's execute this query. Here we can see a table called student has created under the database called runwm school db, and here we can see the relevant columns that we have inserted. The student id column with the data type int and the relevant length, and the student id column is the primary key and it has got the auto increment. So then let's move to the third question, where it was to create the teacher table, and there too we have to use the DDL query. We can use the use keyword here to specify the relevant database name, and we use and then inside the grievance mark we give the database name as Navicat school db, and after that the semicolon, and then we can use the create keyword, create table, as we have to create a create table, and then if not exist, and then the name of the table as teacher, and then we give the brackets. Inside the brackets, inside the grievance mark, we type the column name as teacher id, and then we give the data type as int, and then the not null, and then the primary key, and then the auto increment and comma, and then inside the grievance mark we can give the next column name as first name column. After that the data type as vacha, and inside the brackets we give the length as 45, and then not null and comma, and by using the grievance mark again we give the next column name as last name column, and there too we can use the data type vacha with the length 45, and there too we can use the not null keyword comma, and again inside the grievance mark we can give the next column name as gender, and here too we can give the data type as vacha with the length 10, and then the not null keyword, and again inside the grievance mark we can give the contact number column with the data type as vacha and length 11, and then the not null keyword, and as the last column we can give the email column with the data type vacha and length 45, and then the not null keyword, and then at last after the brackets we can give the semicolon, and then let's execute this query. Here we can see a table called teacher2 has created the primary key as teacher id and the relevant columns, and then let's move to the fourth question, where it has to create the subject table. So then here too we can use the keyword use, and then inside the grievance mark we can give the database name as runway school db, and then the semicolon, and then we can create the table if not exists, and then inside the grievance mark we can give the table name as subject, and then inside the brackets we give the column names, and inside the grievance mark we give the first column name as subject id column with the data type int and make it not null, and then give it the primary key and also the auto increment comma, and then again inside the grievance mark the next column name the subject name column, and then the data type as vacha with the length 45, and then we give the not null, and then after the brackets we give the semicolon, and then let's execute this query and then refresh the page, and here we can see a table called subject2 has created with the primary key as subject id and some other relevant columns. So then in the question set number 44 we mainly focused on the DDL queries. So then let's meet with the next question set number 45, and bye for now.